Hey guys, I'm going to do a journal progress. This is my current journal. It's getting really thick. There's about 40 pages left. I've been using this thing about two months-ish. That's from my childhood shoe. I really like this journal, even though it's a soft cover. It's the thickest soft cover I've ever used. I haven't used many soft covers at all. I like them hard. But yeah, I do like hard covers. They don't bend as much as the cover on this is getting a little bent. And it's just been in my hand. I didn't really carry it around much. But yeah, this is the inside of my journal. This is kind of a journal pet. I had that star on my childhood bedroom ceiling, so I've been taking that as a journal pet from journal to journal the past few journals. This Grumpy Cat sticker, I had fun once it was awful. Lisa Frank, Minions, some wallpaper I chose in high school. I had some remnants of my house key. I'm always kind of afraid to turn pages. But yeah, these are, I surprise visited my family. I called them when I was in the city. I'm like, where's Cracker Barrel? I was like just pretending I was in my city needing directions. And they're trying to give me directions. I'm like, I'm never going to find you. You just have to come here and get me. And they're like, I wish. I'm like, no, I'm downtown in your city. Come get me. So yeah, that completely threw them off. That was funny. I finally found this Minion Tic Tacs and Strawberry Minute Maid. It's like Fruitopia, Strawberry Passion Fruit Awareness. This stuff is really hard to find. I can't find it in my city, but sometimes when I travel I can find it. Same with Mellow Yellow. My favorite toothpaste in recent years, a monster sticker, more Grumpy Cat, a magazine gift subscription I got. I put the label on, and I have an About Me page where I put name, address, occupation, favorite city, color, all that kind of thing. Well, actually I do put favorites. I was like about to say I didn't, but favorite, just list of favorite things, like food, TV show, all that crap. But recent books I've read, movies and TV show on these. The next page is a page of quotes. And these two are my favorite. Good things to come to those who wait. And then it scratched out going fucking earn it. And then this, my family's needs are priority. I'm not comfortable with the idea of serving the many and ignoring my family. I love that quote. And this is a Grandma Moses quote I've liked for years. Life is what you make it, always has been, always will be. And then 17 again, Zac Efron, my lover. I wish. His eyes are so pretty. Anyway, I like that movie, so this is a quote from that. When you're young, everything feels like it's the end of the world, but it's not. It's just the beginning. So yeah, there's that. Here's a page. I'm going to list my favorites and do a what's in my bag, and there's outfit on the day on the top. And this is a page where I put a few pictures of prom, and then this is some wallpaper I chose in high school. A napkin from prom. This thing. So my school rented out the parents of my high school are apparently really paranoid and thinking everyone was going to go home and do it after prom. So for the after prom event, they rented out like this theme park that for us to go and be supervised and not do anything adult oriented. So there was these game coupons for the different amusement park rides. So it says keep this coupon, so I kept it. And this was a funny thing that it was this picture that people share online, and there's a hidden phone in that carpet there. And my cousin's cousin on the other side, that's not related to me, showed that to me. I was at her house. I visited my family and the power went out for a few days. So I ended up staying with my aunt and uncle for a night. And their other niece on the other side, not related to me, was there too. And she showed me this. I could not find it for 15 minutes. She had to tell me where it was. But that was just kind of fun. And my mom and I made an alphabet ailments game. So we're driving along, and there was, what else is there to do when you're driving? So we did bubonic plague, cholera, dengue fever, and we had to come up with like random different diseases for every letter of the alphabet, and we had to do it really fast, like the other games where you're supposed to come up with something that letter. Rickets, sinitis, vasectomy. Yeah. And this is a Game Boy fridge I found online. I thought was really fun, so I want to do fun crap like that. And some of the pages will start out with something fun and then kind of get more serious or deep. Maybe not this page, but in general they can. My friend and I stayed up all night one night coloring, so I put one of the pages in here. Lisa Frank. And speaking of Lisa Frank, I got this Lisa Frank fun happy mail. I put the note in here. And it was just like a mailbox full of happiness. There's so many fun Lisa Frank stickers. I was so excited. And so surprised to get all the Lisa Frank goodies. Yeah, this page is just like colorful happiness. I'm not sure if I showed you this, but a recent playlist of music I've been into lately. I do these movies and books, music and TV show and About Me pages in the front of a journal. And I have some from even 2006 where I did About Me pages, and they're so fun to look back on. Some of the stuff you think is your favorite movies or music at the time, you look back on it years later like, wow, I don't remember being that much into Napoleon Dynamite. But yeah, I really like these pages, especially in the front. They're easier to find. And then I did pages of song playlists from high school, and then pages of high school memories on the other part of that page. Here's this page of high school memories. I haven't actually filled it in yet. I still have a page in another journal of high school memories that I never filled in. I filled out the elementary school one, middle school one, and some college early memories, but I didn't fill in the high school one. So that probably says something about, I don't know, my mental block of filling in high school memories for some reason. But I put some stickers like prom and this little sketch I did. So my high school sweetheart and I were friends with the same group of friends. So we hung out as friends. We kind of sat like on the side of an auditorium here. I drew where the auditorium was in my school here, and then like our friends were hanging out here. The cafeteria was over here. So eventually we went up to them just holding hands, and they were just kind of looking at us, and we were like, it felt like a scandalous surprise at the time. It was just a fun memory, so I drew that in here. I'm going to write some more memories eventually. And here's a page of literal fun crap. I saw this washi tape online, and I had to have it, so there's that fun crap. And here's this page, I just want to live. Sometimes I'll write a quote or an emotion of the day, just make it large on the page like that. I finally found Crystal Pepsi, and I watched Jurassic Park that night and used some tie-dye washi tape and put a Crystal Pepsi in there and just wrote about, I had like a 1990s night. My friend texted me the Charlie the Unicorn video at like 3 a.m. Like, what is this? I'd never seen it before. So this is Starfish's Love You. So I drew the starfish. The starfish is my friend. Come to Candy Mountain, Charlie, Candy Mountain. The video is scary. Then this page of wallpaper from my house, and it's a sentimental house with, I imprinted the key and some leaves from there, and then I jacked this quote on from some website. It said, the memories created in our home took on more profound meaning than ever before. We clung to each other and to our constant, the house. The house didn't let us down. It pulled us in and made us feel safe. When we were scared, we couldn't think straight. It kept bending and creasing like a giant old sweatshirt. It knew exactly what we needed, when we didn't even know what we needed. And it continued to wrap us in its, this is kind of cheesy, but I liked it. It was touching. And it continued to wrap us in its walls. That memories were suddenly immortalized. Our house was unconditional and selfless, a steadfast constant, a man in the storm. So yeah, and then it talks about like mourning loss of structure and how houses can be so meaningful. Because that was the only thing that can be the same in your life if you live in if you live like in your childhood house for years, or if you live in another house for a long time. Sometimes that's the only thing that stays the same. Everything about your life or your family or yourself, your aging face or whatever else can change. But sometimes a house can be the only thing that stays the same. So yeah. I made a list on a few pages of places I've lived and my childhood homes. This is a page just more of normal writing, and then I added in that picture from a magazine. Here's a collage I made. I haven't done collages with paint much at all this year, like a handful of times, but this is just a plain one. And then here's a recent playlist. Haunting by Halsey, and then that Roses song by the Chainsmokers have been my recent fave, and Atomic Dove by Crusoe. I really love those songs. And then I was listening to Pandora Radio, and Fly Away and Blue Dabba came on the radio. I was like, oh my gosh, just like the 1990s, just all over again. So I wanted to highlight those songs on this page. Those are among my favorite songs. The Blue Dabba Dee song, especially, my friend and I like that a little bit too much. Which explains a lot about me. And a lot of pages start out with what I did that day and all that kind of thing, but eventually there's some pages like what I want in life and my beliefs on different topics and kind of on creating the life I want, basically. And this is just a random page that a song that's Closer by Halsey and Chainsmokers I really liked. So I was listening to that on repeat, so I just made a page about with the lyrics part of them. And then there's a shirt online I saw that I want. You read my shirt, that's enough social interaction for one day. Put a crap sticker at the bottom. And I've been really into washi tape samples lately, since it's a cheap way to get more of a variety, and some of the ones I never could find the whole roll of, so I finally found samples like this one. I never could find the entire roll, and this one was the Four Seasons Japanese washi tape. It was expensive, so I just bought a sample. So yeah, I put a sample of my samples. And then I think I saw that online, 50 Shades of Dark Circles under my eyes. I have like such dark circles, and I was exhausted, so I just wrote about that, and then found this quote online too. You don't know why you're exhausted. You're fighting a war inside your head every day. If that's not exhausting, I don't know what is. And drew myself, basically, like a midget version of me. And a squirrel that was like trying to cheer me up. So yeah, there's that. I really like this quote. Only take advice from someone you're willing to trade places with. So I made a whole page of that. I've been putting in some candy wrappers of my mostly childhood favorite candy, like Mountain Dew and Sprees I'd get every day. After lunch during history class, the teacher was exotic and would let us bring food in her class, so I always got that, so this reminded me of it. And a lot of the candies I've liked as a kid are being discontinued, like Chiclet's Tiny Size Gum apparently is now discontinued, and Cherry Squeeze Pops were discontinued last year, so some of the stuff that I liked isn't around anymore, so I decided to put in a wrapper of some of my favorites. I'd at least have the wrapper if some of the stuff gets discontinued later. I put this, what are those things even called? Oh yeah, Febreze Scent Stories. I still had a Scent Stories player and a disc that I've had in my life for years. I took the sticker off that and put it in here just in case I don't keep the actual thing. I've been having a lot of fun with these Q&A pages lately. Like here's one on have you ever, and then some of the questions are traveled outside the country, sailed, flown, or train ride. And some of the stuff that you think is pretty common, like flying or taking a train or something, I've met like at least a handful of people in their 60s and 70s who've never been on a plane in their life. So some of the stuff that we think is just so common, it's actually, not as common as we think. So I wanted to document some of that stuff. Let's see, what else does it say? Ditched school, dumped or been dumped, made out in a theater or public, stayed up all night, like all the time, speeding, car accident, been to a club, Times Square New Year's Eve, been to the ocean, swimming naked, karaoke, smoking, vaping, cheated on a test, been drunk, done drugs, flirted, gotten a 4.0 GPA, snuck out, had sex, hitchhiked, dated someone older, fainted or puked in public. So I just put random stuff that I don't really write about regularly. I just wanted to document some of the random fun stuff like that. Well, I mean, puking in public's not fun, but some of the stuff that wouldn't otherwise be documented in my life. It'd be kind of fun to look back on an ancestor's journal or even my own journal when I'm older and be like, wow, I don't remember back in the day when I went skinny dipping. But yeah, some of the stuff is just stuff that you forget, so I wanted to remember some of it. This page I actually have to fill in too, but I got that monster pencil case I've been wanting most of the year, and then this washi tape. I went to a pool party, and there's just this picturesque backyard, and my friend invited me to, I didn't actually know, well, some of the people there I'd met, but I didn't know the person who owned the house. It turned out to be a former mayor's house. Like, this is so pretty, and it's not even the house that was nice, like, that's what I mean. We didn't see the inside of the normal house. We went to the pool house, and that was small, but the only thing that I really wanted there was this huge, like, seriously huge backyard and the pool, and it had a big tree house and a little pool house, and it was just like, it had little spots you could go and be alone and write. Like, the pool house was the size of a studio apartment, but it had a large balcony around it, and the tree house was also the size of a studio apartment. It was like way across where you could be sitting there talking to someone and you couldn't hear them across the way. So it's just like a perfect place for someone who wants some, some private little nooks to hang out in. So yeah, I'm going to fill out this page before I finish this journal. Here's a more normal page too. Another page of washi tape samples. And I made a list of all the roommates I've had over the years. So here's Energy Girl, Knifey, Rice, Baseball, Nursey, Mormy, Mormon Girl. She made us cupcakes. She was nice. Ogre, Ninja, Japan Girl. And then I wrote a few memories of some of them. And Ogre for free is the way to be. Some of the, like Baseball, there was the tree broke in half. He was like, who tried to saw this? I went out there to like saw part of the tree that broke off. He's like, who tried to do this? He was like, I'll do it, and got a chainsaw and I was out there just going for it. And it was really thoughtful. It was just, I don't know, some fun memories. Here's some more of them. Brienne and the other one, Footsie. Footsie was adorable. He's a foot surgeon. Accountant Ghost Guy. Some of their real names I don't even remember anymore, but Whitey, she was nice. I hung out with her more than a lot of them. But yeah, I could spend a long time on this page. There's just funny memories that their nicknames reminded me of them. Taxi. Yeah, he was an accountant, like a tax accountant, but he also drove us he treated us to a theater and drove us there, so I called him Taxi because he's like our taxi to this place. So yeah, there's that. And a lot of stuff is just what I did that day. I put got a banana strawberry smoothie McDonald's, saw Baseball when I got back, said how crowded everything was. He's like, yeah, more apartments are being built. We talked about how panicked people are in you can't really go to a playground and not be kind of looked at when you're an adult, especially if you're a guy. Who's like, well, he said this right here. They're not easy to kidnap, they kick. It was just fun, just funny. I put more of their conversation here. It was just kind of in context, it was funny. And this is a haul from the Jumbo Journaling haul video I did. It was kind of like a half birthday haul, basically. But some stuff I've been wanting for a long time, like this washi tape, and I've been wanting that pizza one for a long time too. That one I thought was adorable. The mini ones I've been really wanting. Dinosaur stickers. I watched Pixels again, so I decorated the page for that. Then I did a page of current and then a page of favorites. I put current phone, current laptop, TV, camera, address, phone number, email, purse, salary. I can't see what that says. Oh yeah, phone cost, internet cost, utility cost, contacts or glasses, weather, time, bedtime, and then list of favorite food, drinks, ice cream, favorite outfit, holiday weather, music, day of the week, sports to watch, and that kind of thing. I did a page on politics and society, so I put my views on abortion, gender identity laws, fracking, raising minimum wage, and different views on that sort of thing. Removing religious references, no. I don't know. If the culture of a nation was based on a certain religion, I wasn't offended by Buddhist temples in Japan. Why is it that there can't be some history and that religious views be part of someone's culture and we all respect them, and it's just the heritage of a nation, not something that we're oh, can't have any references to anything. They're not going to take Buddhist references off stuff in Japan. I mean, really, it's getting ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, views on that sort of thing, and welfare, labor unions, whether or not decriminalize drugs, who can vote, increase taxes. I'm not saying increase taxes. These are the views that I wrote my opinion on. These were just questions I found on a political quiz and wrote in here, like if we should require kids vaccines or not, or what to do about immigrants and remain in the UN and require military service or not, Common Core standards or not, and that kind of thing. I had a page on work. I gave myself gold stars for days that I put some extra work in. Here's something I bet you've never seen before. So I cleaned up my house shoes, and it felt like an entire trash bag. But some of these have been in my life for so many years, and they're just completely worn out. So like these I've had since early high school, and then these I've had since Tiny Town. Like I've had them so long. I'm gonna put a photo of the pile of them here, but I glued in my house shoes to a journal. Sometimes I kind of wonder if there's, someone else in the world who's taken their old house shoes and glued them in a journal, or if maybe this could be like a unique thing to me. But I wanted to remember, I'm like, a picture is better than nothing, but I like being able to reach out and touch part of it. I mean, in general. Same with pictures of Zac Efron. It'd be so much better to be able to reach out and just... But yeah, I like having... I made a quilt of my old clothes this year, and I got rid of a bunch of my clothes since I'd had them for so many years, and they're kind of like strangly and... Not strangly. There were holes in them, and a lot of them, they're just like worn out. So I made a quilt of those. So I wanted to do something like that for house shoes, but I couldn't think of anything, so I just put them in a journal. So here's a page of house shoes. I'll put a photo here eventually. And this is a sketch of just a funny thing that my old roommate said. Nick and Night. I should have called him Nick at Night, but Nicky Night said the mower. Okay, he went shopping that day, and he was buying an energy drink, and you have to be 18 for that. And he's over 18, but he didn't look it. So the lady at the checkout carded him to see if he didn't believe me that he was even 18. And the mower thought that he asked if he was my son. I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally have like a very aged son. But anyway, he, my other roommate was like, we should have just all handed you the utility costs while you're in the kitchen. The mower was here. You can see it just a really weird amount because the mower was trying to figure out what was happening here. It's like, is that your son? And I thought about playing it to be like, no, it's my grandson. Like, if you're gonna think I'm old, like, I might as well just go for it. But dude didn't even look 18 to some people. He didn't look that young. I mean, he was 18. He was plenty over that. He just didn't look super young to me. So I was like, why is a mower? Like, usually if you say something just really off, most people will correct you. Like, if you say, is that your son? And they're your, whatever, like your friend that's your age. Most people will say, no, that's my friend. But I don't I don't care if people think he's my son. They don't need to know who he is. So yeah, it was just like a funny little memory, and that would have been really fun to play with the mower like that. Oh, here's the mower outside. Like, yeah. Here's a Q&A page. I've really been into these lately. These are really pretty fun. I just look up random questions on sometimes Google Images or on Instagram, Tumblr. But yeah, this is a Q&A quiz of what would you do these things. So, bungee to jump, I've been wanting to for years. Scuba dive. Indoors, that would creep me out, but outdoors, like in the ocean, yes. Swim with sharks, sure. Skydive, I want to. Splunking, I did once. Snorkeling, and I put like eat alligator, goat, or weird food. I tried goat once, and I wouldn't do like a bunny or squirrel. But anyway, favorite color, night out or night in, celebrity crush, Zac Efron. Shocker there. Recent obsession, pin, Starbucks cake pops, and beach popsicles. And another recent obsession is stickers, but I made a page of stickers from all those sticker books, and it's just like a fun little thing to look at. It's kind of like decorating my journal for the holidays. So these collages the stickers are really pretty fun to do. So I plan to do more for different holidays. I used to do this in journals, but I wanted the next page to seem like a new start in a journal. Like I just cover the page with stickers, and then the next page would kind of feel like a start over in the journal. And sometimes I used to put stickers, like I'd flip through to a blank. That's gonna come off great. I flipped through to a blank page. Like this was back in 2007, I think. It was kind of early on in journaling, but I would decorate the page and put cute stickers for myself to look through. So it's just writing through the journal. Eventually I'd get to the page full of stickers and have a surprise for myself. So anyway, there's that. And these are the pages that are left. There's about 40 left, a little bit less. And in the back, I've got this Lisa Frank thing, some Barbie clothes I made as a kid, and a Barbie hanger. And then on the side is a Christmas card that was a blank one that my grandma used to order. She'd order like personalized name ones. So I found that and put it in here. This monster, and I put some stickers in the back so I can use when I'm doing that journal. And same with some washi tape samples and stuff. And then the back inside cover, I've got these pom-pom things. You could do like these have been in my life for like a long time. There's another one up there. But you could do these with your local favorite sports team or your college, high school, your kids' college or high school, or just some local high school if you go to local sports teams or something. It's just like a fun little add-in and a good way to keep a souvenir from whatever city you're in at the time. Baby cake is my friend. Actually, two of them made me a baby cake for my birthday. There was an expression like that apparently most people haven't heard it. It kind of creeps people out, but the expression in political cities was like, they ate babies with soul sauce, like eating the souls of babies because they were that political and just wrong. It's like a way of saying they're all soulless and wrong. So I was just like, I thought I'd kind of done some like soulless and wrong things. So my friend made a baby cake with soul sauce and Hershey chocolate soul sauce, and we all ate the cake. And they're like, we all ate soul sauce. It's not just you. Like kind of like saying we've all done stuff that, or been, yeah. Well, pretty much we've all done stuff that we wish we hadn't, or we weren't as nice as we wish we were. Whatever. With me, it was actually doing stuff. Niceness, meh. But yeah, here's this. This journal's like really heavy. That's what I don't like about suckers. And these stickers are noisy. But yeah, I was trying to lift this up. More stickers. Dinosaurs, grumpy cat, a pocket of. Just put the camera right here for a second. Oh, so I got a Trouble game pin, so I put that in here. I put a receipt from a local fast food place I go to a lot. A few old photos. Yeah, there's not actually much in that pocket yet, but so yeah, this is it. I don't know why these videos when I try to do these videos are always so long. This thing is really puffy, and I really like this. This is kind of in my top favorites just because of what I put into it. And the Q&A pages I've written about all my different beliefs and stuff. Did I show you the page on? Let me find that real quick. And so first off is this page of my crap. I was trying to figure out how much stuff I actually have. So this is the stuff I'm getting rid of, and this is just stuff I'm keeping. Yeah. And here's another Q&A page. Favorite movie. Color underwear now. Coke or Sprite. Cookies or cake. Invisibility or fly. Last country you visited. Lucky number. Special talents. Near-death experience. Random fact. Last book I read. I'm not sure if you can actually read these, so I'll do it closer. Favorite outfit. I love those dinosaur stickers. And here's another page of questions. Credit cards in your wallet. Most recent purchase. How much cash is in your wallet? Last movie you saw in the theater. Were you alone today? Where would you like to live? 3 turn-ons, 3 turn-offs. Biggest current worry. Dream vacation. Favorite vacation that you've taken. Favorite weather. Wish list items. Number of kids I want. Strangest food I've tried. Morning or night. Mood today. Largest bill last month. 3 things I need to buy. What I did yesterday. Sheets tucked in or not. These are just like fun random things that don't usually come up in my normal daily writing, so I wanted to add some variety. Weird talents. I can unfocus my eyes and see dust particles moving in the air. It's a random thing I've just been able to do since I was a kid. So useful. Such a useful talent in my life, too. Let's see. What I did yesterday. Cheetos or Fritos, like spicy food. And rainy or snowy. How big is your bed? Yeah. these pages are really fun. I usually write, well, I did that day too, but sometimes if you don't feel like writing, these are a fun way to have some kind of creative, it's going to sound weird, creative release, but it just gets you in the habit of writing. And sometimes if you can't, if there's nothing really that you feel like writing about that is pleasant or something that you're, a fun memory, these can kind of be a good way to still be able to journal, even if there's nothing else that you really want to write. And I made a comic about my old roommate, the Ogre. So yeah. So I put this on Instagram too. Hopefully you can read it here. But yeah, the Ogre of Doom. It's currently the strong. So yeah, I got rid of the Ogre and we lived happily ever after. Ogre free is the way to be. I'll put that in the roommate agreement. So yeah, that's one of my roommate agreements, like over 8 pages now because of an ogre. This page is pretty fun to do. Okay, so here's that page I was going to show you, and it's a page on beliefs. So I put, if I believe in UFOs, crop circles, aliens, palm reading, fortune tellers, dreams predicting the future, horoscopes, or astrology, this page is new. But if you do, you can believe, like, not not convincing anyone anything. This is just like a personal journal page. I can remember what I believed or didn't believe at this time in my life, and my views on different stuff. So vaccines, as safe and effective or not, haunted houses or places, if positive thought can influence the physical world, many gods or goddesses, one god, reincarnation, Bigfoot, eternity, teleporting, time travel, and energy healing. Energy Girl was into energy healing, and it was, interesting enough to listen to her, but it's not for me, so I'm not into that. Teleporting I'm also not into. Bigfoot, reincarnation, many gods, or positive thought influencing the physical world I'm also not into. Haunted houses, kind of debating, like, if, I don't know that I think things are physically, like, visibly haunted, but some places can kind of feel spooky or creepy, so I don't know. Let me know what you think about haunted houses and places. I totally Googled that one. I hit like 4 a.m. It was not the best idea to do late at night when I was already kind of spooked out in general. It was like the thunderstorm outside. But yeah. You could put, if you believe, like, in all of these, you could write about why you do, or how long you have, or your let's see, like your horoscope and why that, I don't know, how it's affected your life if you believe in, whatever. But yeah, I really love this washi tape, and these kind of looked all mystical, so I put that on here. This is a temporary tattoo. And I'm pretty sure I've never written about UFOs before, so this is like a fun place to kind of summarize all my beliefs. I've got religious and kind of spiritual type beliefs on this page. I've got a page on political beliefs, and then on like socioeconomic status, like my thoughts on different welfare programs and, voting, if you need ID or not, and all that kind of thing. So I really like pages like this. And this journal is so thick that it's, there's so many extra pages in here. It's got, I'm pretty sure, over 400 sides of a sheet. So there's enough room to be able to write whatever you want and still have plenty of room left over to write about daily stuff. So I really like this journal. So that's this journal. There's less than 40 pages left. I've had a lot of fun with this journal, the Q&A pages and stuff. And I've been obsessed with scented pens, mostly these Sugar Rush Metallic and glitter ones. I can smell a lot more than the Target version of these. I've used to slay me a little. I have some scented ink in this too. I have the Jasmine scented ink by I don't even know how to say it. Diatrament, I think, is the name of it. But yeah, that's this journal. This is from my childhood shoe. It was like a bow that you attach to the patent leather shoes. And I meant to try to find tiny size gum today at Walgreens. Their store locator said that they had it. And I was looking all over the store. I kept asking the checkout person, like, have you seen something like this here? Could not find any. Their store locator was wrong. The girl's like, why do you want it so bad? I'm like, honey, you have no idea how bad I want it. So this tiny size gum that I got as a kid, I've had this thing in my fridge for like a year. It looks kind of gross now. But I couldn't find any of these. I like them in a little package. They're really fun. And used to get them at Cracker Barrel, but I haven't seen those seen them there either. So if you see any of these cute little packages, let me know. I did a haul of candy today. So some of the candy I got, even though I couldn't find any more of these tiny sized chiclets in the cute little containers, I got baby bottle pop, green pop, sprees and runts, bubble tape. These strawberry Tic Tacs are good. I love the orange ones as a kid, but I really like the strawberry ones now too. Strawberry bonbons, those pumpkins, cowtails I hadn't tried till my high school sweetheart was like, love those things, so I tried them then. Crybaby gum, and I got a Minions Pez thing. So yeah, I'm gonna keep a wrapper of like each of my childhood favorites, just so I have at least the memory, even if they're discontinued. Like now, this tiny size gum and little packs are discontinued, and Squeeze Pop was one of my childhood favorites, and that's discontinued. So just like more and more of my childhood favorites are no longer around. Like Fruitopia now is back in strawberry, but it's really hard to find. And Surge was discontinued for a long time. That's back. Crystal Pepsi's back too. Some of the stuff is coming back, but I don't know. You never know if you'll see some of your old favorites again. So I'm trying to enjoy my favorite things as much as I can now, and at least have a wrapper and a journal page, so to have that memory of it. And what else? If you see some of these in this cute little bag, let me know. I cannot find them anywhere. I've looked like everywhere. You used to could find them at Cracker Barrel, but they don't have them anymore either. I looked everywhere online. I looked at a New Zealand candy store online, and they don't have them there either. So yeah, this is my last one. So that's weird. And some of this stuff has been around for decades. It's weird how stuff can be popular for, well, I guess I don't know if it's popular, but you know, has been around for years. Like Twinkies were discontinued for a year, and those Hostess orange cakes, and some of the stuff makes it back on the shelves again, some doesn't. Squeeze Pop's been discontinued for 2 years, and that stuff, the cherry Squeeze Pops were amazing. Anyway, it's just like some of the stuff that I knew as a kid, like more and more of the stuff and the people and the places I knew as a kid are no longer around. So I'm trying to remember, you know, put a wrapper of favorite candy, but also write about some of the memories of the people that aren't around anymore, or try to enjoy the people who are while I can, I guess. But yeah, I kind of got an absurd amount of candy. I finally got some Count Chocula cereal. I've never tried it before, and I heard about it a few years ago in one of Crystal's videos, so I have some of that to try. And I got some Ben & Jerry cookie and cream. Is anyone even still watching this? I feel like I'm talking on the phone with a friend, so these videos are ridiculously long. Hopefully that's fine. I don't know. But yeah, these things are one of my favorite candies right now. I couldn't find the normal Push Pops either, but there's another store that I saw those out. But yeah, the checkout girl was like, "Why do you want?" Okay, I tried to film this part of the video a few times, so I'm not sure if I've said it. Checkout girl was like, "Why do you want tiny size candy so much?" I'm like, "Honey, you have no idea how bad I want it." Because it's discontinued. That's part of it, and it's just cute and nostalgic. And I told her I was like collecting vintage candy for a vintage party. I was thinking about doing a 1990s party for Halloween and just having vintage candy from it, like all this sort of thing. And I have some decorations that match the theme. I need to find some friends who like the 1990s around here to invite, but that'd be a fun. I could dress like, make it a 1990s costume party too. That'd be really fun. But yeah, that stuff is hard to find, and it's just weird how, like, when everything you knew is kind of like becoming more and more scarce or hard to find or even impossible to find. One of the places I lived was torn down. It was the school housing, but still, one of the schools I went to as a kid almost actually shut down. They saved it in something, I don't know, it's kind of a long story, but it didn't shut down, but it almost did. It's just like, I don't know, a lot of the places and people I knew as a kid are just, you know, it's just, my childhood is like fading away. So candy is a way to like tangibly enjoy a little slice of my childhood in a small way right now. And Halloween candy, why not? Alright, this is so long. It's gonna be like 40-minute video. This is ridiculous. Hopefully the journal part was interesting. I don't know. I mean, I know it's not like a straight up flip through. I guess I could show you the edges of that. I like to see the edges of people's journals for some reason. Just like filled with memories and fun crap. But I know I don't do straight up flip throughs, but I add in stuff about my life and other people's lives too. I'll collage my address, or I'll add in, paycheck stuff, or just info on other people's lives, and that wouldn't be good to like put that out there. And I don't know, so I like to include some of it in these videos, but hopefully this is even remotely entertaining. I don't know. I like to see glimpses into other people's journals anyway. These things, a lot of those fell off as rhinestones that I added to the cover, but some are still there. And yeah, those Q&A pages are probably my favorite, and just like not just the Q&A on like favorite stuff, but the different beliefs and the different, just fun little quizzes was kind of what I need in this journal, I guess, to lighten things up while I was trying to figure out my crap. And I seriously feel like I'm on the phone with a friend. I'm like waiting for you to say something. Not literally, that'd be weird, but yeah, hopefully you don't mind like unedited videos where I'm just I don't know. I think that's what I like to watch with other people. This journal is fabric, so that helped with the soft cover thing. And I usually I'm hard. I've only used a handful of soft covers ever, but since it's fabric, at least I don't like when the edges of soft covers shred like when they're paper covers. That's why I usually avoid soft covers part of it. This was thick enough I could write on pages in bed and it not just be too flimsy. Like, it was thick enough to write on, even though it was a soft cover. It is pretty heavy. It's like kind of textbook like. That's another thing I don't like about this thickness. And I think there's like 400 sheets in this thing, so I don't like that either. It makes it feel like it's taking a long time for a journal, but overall I do like this thing. Alright, I'm gonna leave it at that. This is seriously long. Have a good night. Bye.